Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is Go Again, a fabulous video cast covering the trading card game Flesh and Blood. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
Hello Fab friends, and welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. So when Monarch dropped, I of course, dove right in. I wanted to really, get some reps and learn Boltyn, which, I think I'm in a pretty good spot with him. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, but really been having a lot of fun with that. I've been playing around with Prism, even playing around with Chane a little bit, still struggling with him and learning, but that's all part of the process. So, of course, I was trying out all the new fun stuff. But, of course, I've always been a Ranger player. I've been putting a lot of effort in through basically since Arcane Rising dropped over a year now in getting her to work. So, in celebration of kind of me returning my mindset and putting a little energy back into getting Ranger to work, I'm kicking off Ranger Week here on Dice Commando. So, what you see over here, I've got episodes every day this week focusing on something to do with Ranger in the new world, right? With all the new toys, because she got some new toys. There are several rares and commons out there that really help her a lot. Plus, let's not forget that a lot of her big arrows became arguably more impactful with specifically the Blood Debt stuff like Sleep Dart or Red in the Ledger shutting down Chane and taking multiple actions. So a lot of cool stuff there. So today, to kick off Ranger Week, what I want to talk about is Azalea in a post-Monarch world. Hey folks, welcome back. Yeah, so talking Ranger and specifically Azalea, of course. I know that right now they're one and the same, but they won't always be. So try and get ourselves in that mindset. So what I'm focusing in on are some of the new toys for Azalea, kind of the strength of her existing toys. And overall, I don't think it's a secret. I mean, a lot of people in the cards are being spoiled, like, oh, that might be good for Azalea or whatever. So the overarching question is not really what are they, but kind of how do they fit in. And then what has been in the back of my head as I've been going through this is, as any hero gets new toys, right? The question is not, do they get better? Because obviously they'll be better in of themselves. The question is, do they get better at a faster rate than the other heroes? Have they gained ground on the other heroes, or did they lose ground against the other heroes, right? Because, everybody got stuff. Dorinthea got Plow Through, right? Not a bad card. So today what I wanted to do was I wanted to basically go through kind of what I've identified as her new toys that I refer to, right? Some of the new cards that she got. Then I want to talk about, kind of the big elephant in the room, which is where I think Azalea can make an impact. If Azalea can make an impact, it's going to be kind of with the impact, make an impact with an impact of her existing big arrows, right? And then I want to talk about kind of how some of these new toys have really changed her equipment profile, which has long been have potentially changed her equipment profile, which I believe has been a long weakness of Azalea specific, or Ranger's Azalea specific. Actually, equipment would be generic right now, at least to all Ranger. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start walking down some of the new toys. The first and the biggest one, in my opinion, is Seek Horizon. All right, so this card, it's a 0 for 4. Well, the red, it's a 0-4-3-2, which makes it very good, right? It gets over that magic number. But the big thing is that it lets you drop that card on top your arsenal to set up Azalea, right? So is this a Ranger card? No. Is it an Azalea card? Yes, right? And that's kind of the distinction I'm at least trying to get my head into, because, hoping we'll get more Ranger in the future. So this card basically does everything you want it to do, right? If you guys have watched my Ranger stuff in the past, you know that I was a big fan of Scar for a Scar and a huge fan of Ravenous Rabble. Ravenous Rabble kind of gives you that pseudo opt anyway, like it lets you know what's on there. But what it does is it lets you kind of slide an attack in first, gives you something functional out of it, and then you can throw your arrow. And then that's what Seek Horizon does. Now, yes, that card has to come from your hand. You do have to put it there. So that there is a cost there. But again, if you're, I still believe that Redliner is the way to go for Azalea. I'm pretty confident on that. Actually, I've been trying to get Death Dealer to work, but I'm very confident that 0 is there. So you're running a pretty low cost curve anyway. if you can throw a 1, you can throw, well, all of our arrows are 1 or 0. Throw an arrow on top, you get a 0 attack, you throw one on top, get something else in your arsenal. Hopefully you do like a take aim or something, you do reload, and then you can do the dominate ability. Right? I mean, it's exactly what you want it to do. I can't really say enough good things about this card. There's an argument to be made to run. You're certainly running. Like, I don't think there's any question that the red version finds its way into an Azalea deck. There's no question about it. I think there's an argument to be made to run the yellow pitch. I don't know necessarily about the blue pitch, just because it's that 2, and that's, basically almost any card in hand can suck up a 2. The 3 makes them make some decisions. So right now, what I've fallen on is I'm still playing. I dropped Scar. I'm playing Rabble. So I'm playing Red Rabble, and I'm playing Red Seek Horizon right now. But I could very easily. I would be very. I mean, you wouldn't have to make much of an argument to me to go with a yellow Seek Horizon and drop Red Rabble. Next card is Rise Above. Functionally, this card does a lot of the same stuff that we just talked about, right? I mean, those, in my opinion, are the kind of the 2 power cards, the 2 power tools that she got. I was playing Fate Foreseen before. I'm still playing Red Fate. I was actually playing Red and Yellow Fate, right, just for that opt to help out. And Yellow Fate went right out, and Red Rise went in. I mean, that was just an easy, just with the way my deck was, that was an easy 1-to-1 swap there. I don't know that I need to convince you guys much more on this card. Like, it's pretty functionally good. Now, the drawback to the 2 that we just talked about is the fact that it does take card from your hand, and it doesn't necessarily help you get something in arsenal, right? So I am still playing red and yellow take cover just to help. I'm playing red and yellow take aim just to try and reload, because remember, another one of her weaknesses is that her bow can only load an arrow, but a reload card can load any card. So it is a little less stressful on you in terms of what physically types of cards you have in your hand. Okay, so just keep that in mind as well. Another card that I didn't at first think was very good and has really grown on me over time is Captain's Call, specifically Yellow Captain's Call. I don't think there's a reason to run the other ones. But Yellow Captain's Call has been kind of like a borderline card in this deck. It's nice that it has the option that it can either do a pump or it can give you the go again for your endless arrow turn, right? Basically, with the way I play Azalea anyway, I think functionally it's the right answer. You try and have that like one go wide turn where you slide in a couple extra endless arrows, and Captain's Call can help facilitate that. Plus, it's a yellow pitch, which is doing basically everything you want it to do. So this card is very good. I can certainly accept arguments that maybe there's other cards that are better in the slot, but right now in my deck it's been doing some good things. Next card, or last real good toy she got, again with the Azalea strategy, you're basically doing kind of a front pump big arrow, right? Big arrow dominate strategy. One of Azalea's challenges, no secret, is that she starts running out of arrows. Starts running out of pumps, she starts running out of arrows, and then you're done before you're even done, right? So Warmongers is very good for that. I had been playing cards like Fate Foreseen. No, sorry, not Fate Foreseen. I'll put it up. Excuse me, I'm forgetting it right now. But it's the one that when it plays from Arsenal, it gives +3, and when it plays from Arsenal, it lets you opt. I had been playing that one, and this one is pretty much slotted in that spot because the opt has actually become less. You actually need less opt now with the with the Rise Aboves and with the Seek Horizons. So that's kind of cool as well. The last card I want to spoke to, because when this came out, everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is a great Ranger card," and it is, right? Yellow Memorial Ground. It does good things for you because, like I spoke to, one of the challenges that she runs out of stuff. But I don't think that you need to play this one, quite frankly. So I think that I don't know that it's doing necessarily what we want it to do. I think in Classic Constructed you do play it, but I don't think in Blitz it works, right? So I think that's kind of one of the. I think you play like 2 of them, maybe even 1 of them in like a Classic Constructed, but I don't think you do it in Blitz just because you have enough other tools at your disposal. But again, we'll have to test that out going time. But I'm not a huge fan of Memorial Ground today, right? Of course, the right to change that. Right, so with those are the big new tools. So let's go ahead and talk about the obvious thing in the room. Why it's even worth having a conversation about Azalea is how strong her existing tools got. I mean, Sleep Dart is the one that's been getting probably the most press because it can, basically just knock out a Levia in one shot. Sometimes, I mean, not in one shot, but it basically shuts down Levia. That, I guess, like I said, that one's the quote unquote big sexy. But let's not forget about Remorseless, let's not forget about, both, but primarily Red in the Ledger, right? Red in the Ledger is the one that only lets you do one action. We've definitely seen, and this isn't just because of Chane, but it's a lot because of Chane. But we've seen the meta kind of shift to more of a go wide, right? Trying to get multiple attacks in, trying to sneak that extra attack in. Red in the Ledger only letting people do one thing is pretty massive, right? So if you can front pump into that, a 2-pitch front pump, throw 5 or throw 8 with Dominate, they're generally going to get hit. And then it doesn't even matter if you didn't take the cards out of their hand, which is, one of the drawbacks of Dominate. You don't always take cards out of their hand, but with Red in the Ledger, you don't care because they're stuck, right? So I very much like Red in the Ledger, specifically because of Chane, but there's other people, even like Boltyn, right? Boltyn's trying to do things, and that really hurts him as well. And then, Remorseless, obviously, it puts a little more pressure on Chane. Generally, I think Chane will plow through it just because he kind of has to keep his gas going. And, it's up to, for Chane, he either plays the cards and takes a hit for playing the card, or it sits in his banish zone and he takes a hit anyway, right? So Chane just plows through it. Somebody like Boltyn maybe has to think about taking an Arsenal turn, maybe. But again, it makes people make decisions, which is something I like in Fab. All right, and last thing today in the post-Monarch world is how the biggest thing is how some of the new tools have really changed your equipment profile. It's no secret that one of Ranger's primary weaknesses, major weaknesses, is the fact that her equipment sucks, right? Specifically cross-wrap. Cross-wrap is one of her biggest weaknesses because she needs it. She needs cross-wrap, or had needed cross-wrap to make sure that she could opt and get everything set up. Okay? You couldn't, which means, because it was a helmet slot, you couldn't play arguably one of the best cards in the game, which is the Skullcap. Skullcap. Sorry, cross-wrap, Skullcap. Cross-wrap for opt did not let you play Skullcap. And now, with Seek Horizon and Rise Above and some of the other tricks you have up your sleeve, I don't necessarily know that in the post-Monarch world you need to play the cross-wrap anymore. I think you can skew. I think in Blitz, you almost definitely don't cross-wrap. I think you definitely go Skullcap. Maybe in Classic Constructed, when you have a little bit more, you have a few more turns, maybe that's more important. We'll have to get reps. I'll have to get reps on that. But functionally, I think that it helps a lot. Just those tools have had that secondary impact of making cross-wrap not necessarily as important. Now, do remember that cross-wrap does have you can play them, you can put them both in your deck, and depending on matchup, right? Because cross-wrap does have the Arcane barrier, right? So that is valuable. But sucking up 3 damage over the course of the game is not something, because the damn cross-wrap has Blade Break, right? Anyway, I don't want to rant forever on the equipment, but I do think it's very interesting how a lot of the new tools have really changed the fact that, you don't necessarily need to play her profile the same. So I do think you're still playing Snapdragon Scalers, but man, who isn't these days? So that pretty much wraps it up for my view on Azalea in the post-Monarch world. Kind of, bringing us home on today's conversation. We went through the tools and various pieces. How does it fit together? Where do I think she fits? I still think she struggles overall because, at least the way I'm very into playing her right now with Azalea is you basically try to do that front pump big arrow. If I'm trying to front pump, Dorinthea, I think, just does it better. If I'm trying to go wide, there are a lot of, Boltyn, Chane, there are a lot, Ira or Ninja, there are a lot of other players that can just go wide better. And I think that kind of leaves Azalea in a weird spot where I think people, including myself, obviously really want to get her to work because she can do some really cool things with sliding in those on-hit effects, which I think are really going to start messing with a lot of the field. If someone can figure out, hopefully me, but if someone can figure out really how to pull off kind of an efficient, like two attack per turn, if somebody could figure out how to get 2 attacks per turn consistently out of Azalea, I think maybe there would be something there. So we'll have to see how that develops. I'll be working hard to make it happen. I've got a secondary concept in mind right now that doesn't fit in with my main deck, but we'll have to see how that fits in. So anyway, thanks everyone for joining me today. Before we get out of here, I just wanted to shout out to my friends over at Gone Guy Games. We're back playing IRL there. Come check us out. Come play with us if you are in the area or in town. Come play with us. We've got our event schedule up, which I'm posting right now for the summer. It's super awesome to be back in IRL. And then my buddy over at Fab Foundry does a great job. He actually has a major announcement over there. I won't spoil it, but go to his site and check it out. When you do go there, use the link below if you're buying stuff, and I get a small kickback from that. So anyway, folks, thanks very much for tuning in for day one of Ranger Week. Nothing else, folks. Go Commando.